Hello, my lovely. Welcome back to the Leader Within podcast. I'm your host, Sue-Ann Higgins. Over the past 3 episodes, we've explored what coaching is, how it differs from everything else you've tried, and what really happens inside a coaching experience. Today, I want to share something that might surprise you: why group coaching can be the most powerful decision you make for your leadership development. If you've been following the series, you know that we've been building toward helping you break through the plateaus that are keeping women leaders stuck. And here's what I've discovered after working with hundreds of women leaders. Some of the most significant transformations happen not in isolation, but in the company of other women facing similar challenges. Today, I want to challenge the assumption that you need to have it all figured out before you get help and show you why group coaching might accelerate your growth faster than going it alone. You know what I hear constantly from ambitious women leaders? I'm not ready for coaching yet. I need to figure a few things out on my own first. And I totally get it. We've been conditioned to believe that asking for help before you've exhausted every opportunity, you're not leadership material, that real leaders should have it figured out and not need or seek out a guidance. But let me ask you this. If figuring things out alone was a path to breakthrough, would everyone who's struggled with leadership already have it figured out by now? Are you really telling me that every successful leader got there without support and guidance? Think about it. When was the last time you saw a top athlete train completely alone? When did you see a successful woman build their company without advisors, mentors, and a peer network? Here's what I've discovered after working with hundreds of leaders. The women who keep trying to figure everything out alone are the ones who stay stuck the longest. While they're grinding in isolation, other women are getting support, gaining clarity, and breaking through their plateaus faster. If you keep believing that you need to have it figured out before you can get help, you're spending years spinning your wheels on challenges that could be resolved in weeks with the right guidance. Do you really want to keep struggling alone when there's a faster path forward? Or are you ready to admit that the smartest leaders are the ones who get support sooner, not later? One of the most powerful accelerators for growth is realizing that you're not alone. That sense of isolation, especially for women in male-dominated fields, can be crushing. Jackie found the group coaching experience to be just as valuable as her own one-on-one coaching experience. Here's why.
Oh, I love it. I think it's as helpful as a one-on-one coaching because you're all actually have very similar problems or need similar type of advice. And it makes you feel that you're not in this on your own. Especially for me, being a female leader in the industry that I'm in, can be quite isolating.
It makes you feel like you're not in this on your own. That's the magic. From a brain science perspective, that feeling of relatedness calms the threat response and opens up the prefrontal cortex to new learning. It creates a powerful, safe space for those breakthroughs.
So to join a group discussion with other women who have similar problems or need advice around their leadership journey is really quite cathartic.
Let me share with you some brain science about why group coaching is powerful. Remember from our earlier episodes when we talked about mirror neurons? These are the brain cells that fire when we perform an action and when we observe others performing that same action. They're why you yawn when someone else yawns and why emotions are contagious. But here's the thing, mirror neurons don't just mirror behaviour, they mirror learning and transformation. When you watch someone else have a breakthrough, your brain practices having that same breakthrough. In group coaching, you're not just working on your own challenges, you're witnessing other people work through theirs. Your brain is learning multiple approaches to similar problems. You're essentially getting the benefits of several coaching experiences simultaneously. There's also something called social proof in psychology. We look to others to determine what's normal or what's possible and what's appropriate. When you're the only person you know struggling with imposter syndrome, it feels like evidence that something's wrong with you. But when you're in a room with 5 or so other ambitious women who feel the same way, it becomes evidence that imposter syndrome is our normal part of our leadership journey. And somehow that can be overcome. This connects to the 5 gatekeepers of human behaviour we explored throughout the series. Group coaching enhances all these 5 elements. Status increases because you realise your struggles don't make you less capable, they make you human. Certainty grows because you see others navigating the similar challenges successfully. Autonomy is preserved because you're choosing to be there and setting your own goals. Relatedness skyrockets because you're connecting with your peers who truly understand your experience. And fairness is really reinforced because everyone gets equal time and attention. But perhaps most importantly, group coaching creates what is called collective efficacy. The belief that together you can achieve things that would be impossible alone. Your individual confidence grows because you're part of a community of women who believe in each other's potential. If you're considering group coaching or you're already in a group program, here's how to maximise your investment and accelerate your own breakthroughs. Step 1 is come prepared to be vulnerable. Don't wait for others to go first. The magic of group coaching starts when someone else has the courage to talk about real struggles. Prepare 2 to 3 specific challenges you're willing to share, not vague goals like, I want to be more confident. The more specific you are, the more targeted help you'll receive. Step 2 is practice active listening during coaching. During others' coaching, when someone else is being coached, don't mentally check out. Listen for patterns that match your own experience. Take notes on the questions the coach asks and the insights that emerge. Often the breakthrough you need will come from observing someone else's conversation. Step 3 is to offer the urge to immediately jump in with solutions. Instead, ask clarifying questions, share similar experiences, and offer encouragement. Remember, you're building relationships, not just solving problems. Step 4, commit to action between the sessions. Group coaching works when you apply what you've learned. At the end of each session, commit to one specific action that you can take before the next meeting. Share it with the group for accountability. And step 5, Stay connected beyond formal sessions. The real magic happens in the spaces between the coaching calls. Exchange contact information, schedule coffee chats, celebrate wins together. Your group becomes an ongoing support network for continued growth. The key is to approach group coaching as a collective learning experience, not a spectator sport. Your transformation accelerates when you actively participate in everyone's growth, including your own. Let me share a story from one of my group coaching cohorts that perfectly illustrates this power. I was working with a group of 6 women leaders, all at different stages in their careers, all facing different specific challenges, but all caught up in some version of the try harder traps of leadership. There was Jennifer, a finance director, struggling with perfectionism, working 60 plus hours a week. Lisa, a marketing manager who felt invisible in leadership meetings despite having great ideas. Sarah, an operations leader dealing with a difficult team member and she just couldn't seem to motivate. And Emma, a project manager battling imposter syndrome after a recent promotion. Rachel, a HR business partner overwhelmed by competing priorities. And Maria, a sales leader struggling to influence her peers. On the surface, these seem like completely different challenges requiring different solutions. But in our conversation, I think it was around the second conversation, something happened. Jennifer was sharing about a presentation she had over prepared for spending like 12 hours creating backup slides for every possible question. And she described staying up until 2 a.m. perfecting the charts that no one would probably see. I watched the other women's faces. Lisa suddenly said, "Oh my God, I do that too. I spent 6 hours last week writing an email that should have taken 10 minutes. Sarah nodded. I created a detailed project plan for conversations that might not happen. Emma added, I rehearsed meetings so much that I felt exhausted before they started. In that moment, something shifted in the room. Jennifer realised that her perfectionism wasn't a personal failing. It was a pattern shared by other intelligent, capable women. The group realised they weren't dealing with 6 different problems. They were dealing with variations of the same underlying challenge. But here's when the real magic happened. As each woman shared how perfectionism showed up in her role, they started generating solutions for each other. Lisa, who worked in marketing, suggested Jennifer could test presentations with a smaller group first instead of trying to perfect them in isolation. Sarah, with her operations background, helped Jennifer create decision trees for when enough presentations was actually enough. Emma shared a technique she learnt for setting presentation time limits. What would have taken months for Jennifer to figure out alone happened in one conversation because she had 5 other brilliant minds working together on the challenge that she had. 6 months later, Jennifer had been promoted to CFO, but importantly, she was working 45 hours a week instead of the 60 or 70 and felt more confident in meetings than ever before. The breakthrough wasn't just hers, it belonged to the whole group. They discovered how their individual challenges were connected and that solving them together was faster and more effective than struggling alone. Let me break down the specific advantages of group coaching that you simply can't get in one-on-one work. Don't get me wrong, I love one-on-one work, but I also love group coaching. Diverse perspectives on common challenges. When you're stuck in your own thinking, you need fresh perspectives. In group coaching, you get multiple points of view on every challenge. What feels impossible to you might be something another group member has already solved. Accelerated learning through observation. You learn not just from your own coaching conversations, but as you witness others get coached. You hear questions you wouldn't have thought to ask and see breakthroughs that spark insight for your own situation. There's built-in accountability. It's easier to let yourself down than to let your group down. When you're committed to trying something new in front of your peers, you're more likely to follow through. Normalised struggles, realising that other smart, successful women face similar challenges, dissolves the shame and isolation. Your struggles become data points rather than evidence of inadequacy. Cost effectiveness. Group coaching gives you access to high quality coaching at the fraction of the cost of individual coaching, making transformation accessible even if you can't invest in one-on-one work yet. But perhaps the most important, group coaching mirrors the real world of leadership. You never lead in isolation. You'll always be collectively collaborating, influencing, and working with others. Group coaching lets you practice those skills in a safe environment while you're developing. Now, I know some of you have concerns about group coaching, so let's address them directly. What if I'm not as advanced as other members in the group? Here's the beautiful thing about group coaching. Everyone brings different strengths and faces different challenges. The newest leader in the group often asks questions that help the most experienced members see their blind spots. What if I'm embarrassed to share my real struggles? You only have to share what you're comfortable sharing, and you'll find that as trust builds in the group, your comfort level increases. Plus, the relief of discovering that others face similar challenges usually helps you overcome the initial embarrassment quickly. What if my situation is too unique? While the specifics of your situation might be unique, the underlying patterns usually aren't. The perfectionism that shows up in a finance role works in the same way as perfectionism in someone who's in a marketing role. The Leader Within Group coaching experience is specifically designed to maximise these benefits while maintaining personalised attention that you need. We start with every single member taking the Leader Within breakthrough audit, so you know exactly which area of competency to focus on in our conversations. The groups are small. We limit the number in each session to 10, so everyone gets substantial individual attention while benefiting from peer learning. You get access to the Leader Within materials. These are frameworks, videos, and guides that support your specific competency development. But you're not learning alone. You're learning alongside other women who are working on complementary competencies. The magic happens when someone working on emotional fluency helps someone working on influence, or when someone developing strategic thinking supports someone building confidence. As we wrap up today, I want to leave you with a final thought. The journey to becoming a more intentional leader isn't about adding more to your to-do list. It's about transforming the quality of your thinking. But the biggest question always is, what thought do I need to reconstruct? Because often we're not aware of those thoughts that are on autopilot that are keeping us there. That's why I've created a powerful first step for you. It's a one-on-one coaching experience I call the Power Move Blueprint. Now, don't worry, you don't need to book a call or get online with me. It's a personal deep dive with me, facilitated through Video Ask. I ask you some prompt questions and then personally review your reflections. I then do a video coaching session just for you. In it, I will give you your one power move, one clear shift for immediate relief, and your 30-day blueprint to make it stick. You'll get a one-page summary and a golden ticket to my next group coaching call, the Leader Within Collective. It's online via Zoom, so it doesn't matter where you are in the world. This entire high-touch experience is just $67 Australian dollars, because I know that having a clear plan is the first most critical step to a real breakthrough. If you're ready to move from feeling stuck to having a clear plan, it's time to get your Power Move Blueprint. The link is right there in the show notes. In the next episode, we're shifting into our Advanced Leadership Skills series, where we explore the art of influence without authority, how to lead and create change even if you don't have formal position power. Until then, keep leading from within, my lovely, and remember, you're only one reconstructed thought away from the breakthrough you deserve in your life and leadership journey.